What's up, y'all? I got 2 new submissions from my viewers. I told y'all guys a while ago, send me your scary, spooky, crazy stories, and I'm gonna tell them for you. If you new here, go ahead and follow your girl. I cover real stories on true crime, black history, haunted lore, everything spooky in between, y'all. If you new here, go ahead and follow your girl. I cover real true crime stories, black history, mysteries, and everything spooky in between. If you like that type of shit, come join the family. Never sugarcoat shit over here. Everything is real, everything is raw, and everything is straight to the motherfucking point. With that being said, if you still here, let's get into these stories. Okay, this first submission is from a guy in Detroit. He wanted to be anonymous. He stated back in high school, he was going through it. He said they had no money, his mom was sick, and the lights were off half the time. One night he said out loud, talking to the dark, if something out there can help me, I'll give you whatever you want. Please don't let us lose this house. The next day, his mom got approved for back pay that she never even applied for. Bills paid, groceries stocked. He shook it off as a blessing. But then a week later, the dreams, they started. He said he would wake up in his room and everything would feel off. And in the corner stood a tall man, dark skin, black suit, and always that damn top hat. He never said a word, ever. He just watched. But one night, the man stepped forward and whispered to him, I've kept my deal on my end. Now it's your turn. From that day on, he said, things spiraled. His mom got sick again, real bad this time. He started losing time, blacking out, waking up hours later. He wake up with no memory of what had happened while he blacked out. But every single time it happened, someone close to him got hurt. He tried to shake it off. He tried to blame it on stress. But on his birthday, he woke up and the words, he's mine, was scratched into his mirror. After that, he moved cities. He changed his phone number, changed everything, and burnt every last single item of clothing from that time in his life. He says every time he starts doing good, he can feel him somewhere. He can feel him watching, waiting, just waiting for me to forget the deal. You know what's so crazy? I had my own experience with the man in the top hat. And from my understanding, everybody's experience with him is different. Because for me, it's so crazy. I walked out of my house one night and there's a big ass oak tree outside of my house. I'm talking about huge. I look, it's pitch black in the back of our yard. We had no lights, we had nothing at the time. I look straight as I'm walking out the door and I see a man standing there. And it wasn't my first time, and it wasn't my first time hearing about this man. My mama always told me about him, and she always told me about her experiences. So I walked outside, I looked straight, and I saw him just standing there. I couldn't see his face. I couldn't see anything except for him in black with the top hat and the cane. I couldn't, and it scared the fuck out of me. When I say it scared the shit out of me, I ran the fuck flat back in the house like I wasn't ready. Like I wasn't ready for it at that moment. And I lie to you not. The very next day, a random man came into my yard and he claimed he was working on power lines. That was the craziest part about it. He claimed he was working on power lines, but he said he worked for the city, right? And from my understanding, the road that I lived on, in order for you to be working on the power lines, you would have to be on the opposite street in the back from us because that's where our power lines would be located. There is nothing that you can do in a yard for our power lines in our yard. Like it's nothing. He came back there and was in our backyard just walking around real weird, like. And he had a clipboard, a white paper, and he was writing stuff on it. He pulled up in a um unmarked vehicle, a white little truck. It was very weird. The city people and the people who work here, they pull up in trucks, yeah, but they always have an emblem of the city of Arcadia. They always have a stamp so that you know, or they'll have a yellow license plate tag so that you know that it's a city person. So he's just there. My mom, she asked him like, "What are you doing here?" He said he was working on the power line. And a lot of y'all know, this was right after I seen the man. My brother ended up passing away. He was in jail and he ended up passing away. But the creepiest thing about it was my brother had always been a conspiracy theorist. Like, he had always been one of those who always dug deep into shit, and he made it make so much sense. And he was on the phone when the dude walked in. And when the dude walked into our yard, he was just there. He claimed he was working on the power lines, the phone lines, and it was just so weird. The confrontation with the dude, the way he acted, his mannerisms, the shit was just so incredibly weird. And then my mom and my brother was on the phone, and my brother said, who you talking to, what's going on? And my mom said it's the dude in the yard, and he claimed that he trying to do the power lines, and there's nothing wrong with the phones and shit like that. And my brother had said something, and he said, well, I'll get at y'all later, I'll call y'all back. And the next day after that, the police came into our yard and told me that my brother had expired. They told me and my mom that my brother had expired through the night, and they don't know what happened, as if he was on bad food or something like that. But long story short, every time my family has seen this man, it's always been like an omen of death, like something bad is happening or gonna happen or coming. Like, that's why I said it's so crazy. This next story comes down from Mobile, Alabama. Her name is Chelsea. Chelsea stated that her and her sister were cleaning out their grandma's old house so that they could renovate it. The house was real old. It had been in the family since the 1940s. The sisters started tearing up walls. Upstairs in one room, they found a doll in the wall after they tore it out. It wasn't just any doll. It was wrapped up in Bible pages, had red string tied around it, and had human teeth in its mouth. She said the moment they pulled it out the wall, the room got cold. Not a breeze, not a draft, cold. Later that night, her sister stated that she seen something crawl out of her closet. Not walk, crawl. She stated that it looked like a shadow with long limbs, and they just weren't moving correctly. It was horrible. As if its bones were out of place. They stayed at a hotel that night. And she asked me what they should do with the doll. And I told her, shit. Baby girl, honestly, if it was me, I would take that doll and seal it back in that motherfucking wall, because obviously it wasn't supposed to leave. Obviously, whoever put it there for a certain reason. If you can't seal it back up in that wall, I suggest you find somebody, somebody who deals in those type of things, a paranormal expert of that, something of that nature, a priest even, and see what you should do with that item, and maybe get your house cleansed. Yeah, because that is bananas.